So going into playing at your time in Messiah, you had a brother that played on the team before you, and you knew this was a really impressive program. What were your thoughts going into that about what you had to achieve to kind of fit the mold there?
Yeah, so my brother went to Messiah. His name was Hayden, and he won some of the first national championships Messiah ever won. He was an All-American, and he was a National Player of the Year. And so he's kind of, he was like my hero. I was 12 years old watching him play at Messiah, and I thought, that is awesome. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. Newsflash or spoiler alert: I wasn't an All-American, and I wasn't a National Player of the Year my 4 years there. So it was a different experience for me. I didn't start until my senior year. Going into that situation, my brother, Hayden, he was my club coach, and that got me recruited to Messiah. So I had a cool sort of mentorship with him. And what I realized and what he encouraged me to think, and my mindset for that time, preparing to go to Messiah, it was, don't try to be me, right? Don't try to do what I did there. Be who you are. God created you to be someone. You're Sam Woodworth. You're not Hayden Woodworth. Consequently, I did get the same number on my jersey as him, but that was more of the coaching staff thought that would be funny. So I did get to try and honor him, and kind of it was fun to be a little brother wearing his jersey. But I knew going in that the best I could do there was be the best version of myself, and to work on who I was as a child of God, and not try to be someone else or be my brother.
Absolutely. Joey, now you, like Sam and Claire, have worked so hard your whole life at your sport, and now you're playing at the highest possible level of your game, which is remarkable, and not just playing at it, like crushing it, so that's really exciting. With the awards that you received this last season, and how those, people, you're gaining this following and all of these things, what do you do, and what's built into your life to keep your identity rooted in Christ and not in those awards and achievements?
Sure. The first word that comes to mind for me this season is just thankful. There are so many ways that I felt like it could have gone, and for me to look back on how the 2018 baseball season, both on and off the field, turned out, I just couldn't be more thankful and couldn't feel more blessed. And in terms of staying grounded and rooted in Christ, like our theme is tonight, I think for me it comes down to answering the question of who are you? Are you an athlete first, or are you a Christian first? And if you're an athlete first, then you'll see yourself, I think for me, get really high with the highs and get really low with the lows. And I think at some point you're going to see, you're going to get a lot of disappointment if you're an athlete first. Yet if you're a Christian first, your hope is in something that's eternal, and it's not in something that's fleeting. And I feel like for me, over the course of a season, staying consistent in my reading, carving out time in my day by myself and with peers on the team, is something that keeps me rooted in Christ, and something that allows me to stay on an even keel. So that's kind of what I have built in, to stay grounded and to stay rooted in Christ. And also, I think baseball does a pretty good job of humbling you. A good season is you get out 7 out of 10 times. That and my brother's doing a pretty good job of humbling me too.
That's awesome. I think I've not thought about baseball that way actually. 7 out of 10 times. There you go. Claire, I know a little bit of your story, and I know that you are this stellar athlete and played really hard at Messiah, but after your junior year you had an injury that took you out for a whole season, right? So tell me a little bit about what it was like to be on the sidelines for a season, with the immediate season following your high scoring season, right? So tell me what that was like for you and finding your worth during that time.
I tore my ACL, my junior season of college. I had our team had done really well. We had won the MAC championship, and we had continued into the NCAA individually, I had been named an All-American and kind of had the season of my life, like she was mentioning. And then that fall, we were playing with recruits, and I tore my ACL before the season had even started. And that injury alone is like a 9-month recovery, and that would be if I had had surgery the next day. I actually waited. I finished out, that was my senior year, that fall that I tore my ACL. And so I waited to get surgery after graduating. I finished out that year with my teammates on the sideline, like she said. And for me, that was a super big reminder that my identity is not found in lacrosse whatsoever. Not in the accolades, not in the team wins, and that I still had my teammates to hang out with, that I still got to live with them and be a part of the team, but my role wasn't to be scoring the goals. My role was to be an encourager to my teammates, and it was hard at times. Like, there were certainly times that I really missed playing the sport and being able to be involved on the field, but I felt like I was called differently, and I think the Lord taught me a lot about what it means to have my identity rooted in Him in that hard season. And I think I became the closest to Him that I had ever been because I was truly relying on Him to give me the strength and the ability to go out and encourage my teammates, and to not just then take the identity of an injured player and decide that I had no role anymore on the team and that I was just going to check out and not do anything, but to want to take the stats for my teammate and be at the head of the line to give them high fives and to still be involved and excited for them in their wins, and also be with them and relate to them in their lows or their losses.
Yeah, that's super important. I think as Claire's talking about that teammanship too, there is so much to be said for when we talk about finding your identity, who you are, and asking yourself those questions. It feels like a very individual pursuit, but having people around you to ask you those questions too and be alongside you in that search is so important. Claire's mentioning her teammates. Joey, for you at this professional level too, what is it like in the locker room for you, with as far as your teammates and supporting one another's beliefs and pushing each other toward excellence in this way?
Sure. I just want to add to what Claire said in terms of injury. I'll get to that. I'll be quick. But I think as athletes, we've all probably gone through an injury at some point, and it can be challenging, and your competitive nature just really wants to get back out on the field. And I think that through the injuries that I've suffered, it also gave me an appreciation for when I'm healthy and other players are injured, and it gives you a little bit of perspective, and now you can truly empathize with those players that are injured when you're healthy. So I think that is another way, in addition to what Claire was saying, that the Lord has used some of my injuries over the years. Now, what's a clubhouse like? It's funny. People ask me often, "What's such and such like? What's he like? What are they like?" And in general, by and large, a Major League Baseball player is just like the general population, except for the fact that they're particularly good at baseball. So you see a lot of guys who are great men and who love the Lord and who love their wives and their families. And then unfortunately you see a lot of men who are living for the now, and they seem to be taking baseball for everything that it has to offer. And then it seems like you have a little bit of everything in between. There's definitely a very competitive nature within the clubhouse, especially in the minor leagues. A lot of times you might even be competing with a teammate. There's only one person that can play second base at the Major League level. There's only one person that can play shortstop. So I think in those times when you find yourself potentially even competing with a teammate or something like that, that it's important to keep in mind, specifically for me, what your end game is. What is it that I'm trying to accomplish by playing this game? Am I trying to be the best second baseman in the world, or am I trying to make an impact for Christ? And I think when I think about it in terms of that it puts things into perspective for me, and allows me to not only play better, but to also act in a way that brings glory to the Lord.